What do a first date, a job interview, and a heart-to-heart conversation have in common? They can all be ruined by bad breath. But here's the kicker. Most people don't even know they have it. Are you one of them? Today we're tackling the taboo topic of bad breath. But don't worry, this isn't just another brush your teeth lecture. We're about to uncover a natural, powerful solution that's been hiding in plain sight. This halitosis herb has been used since ancient times for the age-old breath conundrum. Picture this, you're at a job interview, you're feeling confident, ready to impress. You lean in to shake hands with your potential new boss, and suddenly their face scrunches up and they take a step back, and you realize, oh no, it's your breath. We've all been there, right? Bad breath can strike at the worst moments, leaving us feeling embarrassed and self-conscious. But here's the thing, bad breath isn't just an occasional inconvenience. It's way more common than you think. In fact, studies show that about 25% of people deal with bad breath on a regular basis. That's 1 in 4 of us walking around with less than fresh breath. So what's causing all this stink? Well, contrary to popular belief, it's not usually coming from your stomach. Surprisingly, about 90% of bad breath cases are actually due to poor oral hygiene. That's right, those forgotten floss sessions and rushed toothbrushing routines are coming back to haunt us. But it's not all just about brushing and flossing. Dry mouth is another big culprit. You see, saliva is like nature's mouthwash, helping to wash away bacteria. When your mouth gets dry, especially overnight, those bacteria throw a party in there. And let's not forget about the foods we eat. Garlic, onions, coffee, they're all delicious, but they can leave our breath less than pleasant. But here's the kicker. While these foods can cause temporary bad breath, chronic bad breath is usually linked to bacteria overgrowth. Now, I know what you're thinking, just use mouthwash, problem solved. But here's the thing. Many commercial mouthwashes just mask the odor without actually tackling the root cause. It's like putting an air freshener in a dirty room. It might smell better for a while, but the problem is still there. The impact of chronic bad breath goes way beyond just having unpleasant odor. It can seriously affect our social lives and professional opportunities. I've seen people avoid social situations or clam up in important meetings because they're so worried about their breath. It's a silent confidence killer. But don't worry, there's hope on the horizon. Nature's provided us with an unexpected hero in the fight against bad breath. It's green, it's fresh, and it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Any guesses? That's right, it's basil. But how can this simple herb combat such a persistent problem? Well, stick around because we're about to dive into the surprising powers of this little leaf. You might think that basil is just for spicing up your pasta sauce, but what if I told you it could freshen your breath better than regular mouthwash? A recent experiment had some jaw-dropping results that'll make you look at this humble herb in a whole new light. Now, before we dive into the nitty-gritty, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. Basil isn't just a modern-day culinary superstar. It's been a big deal in traditional medicine for centuries, especially places like India. There, they've been using holy basil or tulsi, not just for its flavor, but also for its ability to fight off those pesky oral bacteria and freshen our breath. Talk about a multitasking herb. But here's where it gets really interesting. While we've been reaching for those fancy chemical-laden mouthwashes, basil has been quietly showing them up. You see, unlike many commercial mouthwashes that just mask odors and often dry your mouth in the process, basil actually tackles the root cause of bad breath. So what's basil's secret weapon? It's about those essential oils, particularly one called eugenol. This little powerhouse has been shown to put the brakes on bacteria that produce those smelly, volatile sulfur compounds. You know, the ones responsible for making your breath less than fresh. And it doesn't stop there. Basil is also packed with chlorophyll, nature's very own deodorizer. It's like a 1-2 punch on bad breath. Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, but how do I actually use basil for fresh breath? Well, you've got options. You can chew on fresh basil leaves, a great excuse to grow your own herb garden. You can make basil infused water, fancy and effective, or even use basil essential oil in homemade mouthwashes. It's like having a breath freshening toolkit right in your kitchen. But here's the real kicker. Remember that experiment I mentioned earlier? Well, hold on to your toothbrushes because this is where it gets good. In a clinical trial, they pitted basil against commercial mouthwashes. The result? Basil was just as effective at reducing oral odor. That's right, this little leaf went toe to toe with the big guns and came out swinging. So, vitality enthusiasts, are you ready to give basil a try? In our next segment, we're going to break down exactly how you can incorporate this breath-freshening superhero into your daily routine. Trust me, your social life and your taste buds will thank you. Let's wrap this up with a fresh perspective on basil. We've seen how this little green leaf packs a powerful punch against bad breath. And it's not just about masking odors. Basil actually fights the bacteria that causes the stink in the first place. Plus, it's natural, easy to find, and it doesn't come with any harsh side effects of some commercial products. Want to give it a try? Here's a simple way to start. After your next meal, chew on a fresh leaf of basil. It's like nature's breath mint, but so much better. Or if you're feeling fancy, why not whip up some basil infused water? Just toss a few leaves in your water bottle and let it sit for an hour. Voila! You've got yourself a refreshing, breath-freshening drink. Now, I want to hear from you. Give basil a go and let me know how it works for you. Who knows, you might just become a basil believer too. Remember, fresh breath isn't just about smelling good. It's about feeling confident and ready to take on the world. So go ahead, embrace the power of basil, and let your fresh breath lead the way to your next great adventure.